Hey everybody, welcome back to the Scentatar Fragrance channel. It's another beautiful day, so good to be here. If you're new to my channel, we review fragrances, colognes, perfumes, and all things scent related. So let's jump into another fantastic fragrance. This is Fineapple by the House of Galliger. Before I even talk about, how we do it here, the smell and the composition, the projection, longevity, the compliment factor, and the price in that order, I want to tell you a quick short story. So this is one of the fragrances that proves that you need to let fragrances age like wine sometimes. Sometimes, especially if you just get the fragrance, you need to let it sit for a little while. Perhaps you need to take a couple sprays out so it can get a little bit of air in the bottle, so the fragrance can really, blend and become harmonious. So that's what happened with this one. When I first sprayed it, it was scratchy, it was loud, it was highly synthetic. Now it's just a beauty. It smells really good. It's much more well blended. So let's talk about it. It's called Fineapple. A funny name, a pineapple combined with apple, and it's a fine fragrance. So you do get pineapple and you definitely do get apple. I get more apple than the pineapple though, even though the pineapple really gives this fragrance its kind of yellow, crisp, fruity nature for the most part. The sweetness comes from the apple, and it really sticks around longer, even though this is a fruity fragrance overall, no doubt about it. A very fruity, sweet, playful fragrance. I do like that it's called Fineapple because this fragrance has a fine feel. It does smell perhaps a little bit on the classy side, even though you could definitely wear this casually if you wanted to. I feel like this blend just smells clear, almost transparent, and just smells, like a fine product. So overall, it smells fantastic. I was glad that I gave this one a second chance. Again, it made me a believer. In the dry down, you get a little bit of some very nice, transparent, light kind of blonde woods. I believe there must be some ISO-y super. This stuff has decent sillage, even though I kind of go nosmic to this one as well. Perhaps pineapple fragrances, they do that to a lot of people's noses. I don't know why, but this stuff does have good performance overall. Let's talk about it. On my skin, to me, it seemed like it was a 6-hour fragrance. Other people could notice it 7.5 hours after I had worn it. So solid performance. Projection in the first hour, or maybe first 30 minutes or so, actually is pretty good, or really good. And then it becomes more of an elbow's length, maybe arm's length fragrance. So it's not as strong, perhaps, as a Ventus, or I think it's comparable to Club de Nuit Intense, which is a solid performer, no doubt about it. And it's really there, or perhaps performs just as well, if not better, than the average Aventus clone. But this isn't a clone. I feel like this fragrance perhaps puts a little bit of a sweeter twist, puts a little bit more of a fruity twist on that Aventus kind of fragrance. Now, at Galliger, I think they created this fragrance because there's another spot that this, pineapple craze can fill. They need a sweet, playful Aventus-like fragrance. So, this kind of gets into the compliment factor. If you wanted a sweet, fruity Aventus, even more fruity, you didn't really want any of the smoke, any of the oak moss, really not a lot of ambergris here. If that's the kind of fragrance you wanted, perhaps leaning a little bit more youthful and on the feminine side, Fineapple is definitely going to do it. And if you wanted a Aventus that could be dressed up, but yet was fruity, this is fantastic for that too. I do feel like a lot of the Aventus clones don't smell as classy, or they probably wouldn't do very well dressed up particularly. This one has a little bit of that class and that charm. I really do think so. So with the compliment factor, I do feel like this leans a little bit more feminine. So on a guy like me and around people where I live, they appreciate more uber masculine fragrances like Fahrenheit, and even stuff like Polo Green or Davidoff's Cool Water. On a guy, this simply isn't going to cut it, but this is a fantastic fragrance. Definitely is unisex, but I do believe that if you're a lady out there, Pineapple Vintage Intense is a fantastic fragrance, but if you want something that's a little bit more feminine, something just for you, I would check this one out. Now, this fragrance is pricey. Let's talk about the price. This fragrance I believe was about 150. I think Galliger stuff just marked up their prices about half a year ago or so. So they're about 200 or 225 a full-size bottle. Now that is very pricey, but if you're used to things like a Ventus, you know, a Ventus full retail is about 400 or so. Especially if you get into batches, it can be more pricey than that. So this fragrance, I do feel, I mean, of course, I would like to say that $150 is a better price, but I don't feel like this fragrance is a ripoff. I do feel like this is worth the money if you're a lady and you want a fantastic pineapple fragrance, an apple fragrance, a sweet fragrance, something that's fruity, but not really a floral fragrance, something different, something simply fantastic for this summer. Again, if you're a guy, you know, you can rock Club de Nuit Intense. That's fantastic. I feel like that's more masculine. Al Haramain's La Aventure is a really good, you know, all-around versatile pineapple fragrance. And Pineapple Vintage has all kinds of flankers. If you want vanilla that's more sweet, if you want smokier batches, I think they have some that vetiver. Who knows? They've probably come out with something new that I don't even know about. But Galliger fragrance Fineapple is a solid fragrance. If I had to give it a rating, I think I would give it a 7 out of 10. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. I do think that this is a good fragrance with solid performance. And on ladies especially, of course, again, guys, you can pull this off, but it's more youthful and more playful. On a lady, this is a killer fragrance, especially for the summer. You're going to be rocking, smelling fantastic. So thank you so much for being here today, sticking around, staying to the end of the video. If you'd like to support me and, you know, always be, you know, in tune to my regular content, please like, comment, subscribe, especially hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video, and even share the video if you'd like to support me and be most generous. So thank y'all so much for being here today. The summer's really cranking up. I hope I'm not releasing summer content too soon. Where I live, you know, closer to the equator, I guess you could say, we're getting 80 degrees. So sometimes you might even start sweating. So thank y'all so much for being here. Again, we got to say it here at the Scented Fragrance channel, wear what you love. And I'll see you next time. It's been a good day. It's going to be a great day. Have a good one. Bye.